I know our videos can be challenging sometimes because they're real, because we have to talk about some of these issues that sometimes just get us down. But today's video, I want us to be inspired. I want us to be encouraged and try to be motivated. There's several days when me and Misty wake up and we have so much going on that we just miss out on the beauty of the day and also the blessings that God gives us each and every day. So today I want to motivate you. What are ways that we can do better? What are ways that we can strive to do better? And when we get these 7 things right, I do believe it helps us be a better prepper, homesteader, and better at living a sustainable life. We've mentioned to you before the 3 S's: sustainability, stewardship, and through that, satisfaction. Well, today let's talk about that. Let's talk about rules that you can live by that it's going to make life so much better for you, even in a stressful world that we live in. Let's jump into it. I think it's going to be a great video. It all starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. We are actually in Oklahoma. We came up for the expo that we're going to be speaking at. Misty's going to be speaking on water glassing. I'm going to be speaking on gardens. Also, I'm going to be speaking on prepping and starting a prepper's pantry. So wish us luck for sure. But I want to show you, we don't know about Oklahoma. We've only been here one other time. And we stayed in a hotel because we didn't know what to do. But this time we got a VRBO. We had all the kids with us. But look at this view. There's a lake here. And man, it is absolutely beautiful. And to be honest with you, it was about the same price as the hotel. Isn't that crazy? So I like this view a lot better. So today's video, I saw the sunrise. I said, you know, there's so many times we get so discouraged about what we deal with each and every day. I do. There's times I just get down because it's just stress and anxiety. But let's just channel all that out. Let's try to focus on some rules to stick to and how we can motivate ourselves to look at every day and say, you know what, it's a new day, it's a blessing, and we're going to take the bull by the horn. So let's jump into a great lift today. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but let us know what you think about this video. Also, remember, we have the other channel, The Max Life. It's a little bit more in depth about our life and what we're doing. We're vlogging this trip, actually, so stay tuned to that and check that channel out. I think you'll enjoy it, too. You'll see my wife and my kids a lot more. You'll even see some fishing on this trip, so hopefully we'll catch something. Remember, we're going to be doing giveaways based on our subscribers. It doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe to both channels. Put in the comments that I'm a new subscriber or I've been here for a long time, and that enters you into the drawing for June. We have 2 giveaways. June will be closer to the middle of the month, and we'll talk about those later in other videos. So let's jump into today's topic. So number 1, do not take it for granted. Today we wake up and we're able to face a new day. Yes, there could be some trials. We understand that. But overall, if we're able to wake up, that's one blessing that we take for granted. We don't realize how important it is just to breathe and start a new day. This morning when I got to come out, and even though I miss our farm, to come out and see this beauty that God has given us, that helps. I say, you know what? No matter what goes on, I know that it's a new day. No matter how stressful today can get, it's a new day. And we have to face it as if nothing took place yesterday and nothing's coming up tomorrow. When we learn to do things day by day, it helps us not be as anxious and stressed about what's coming up for the week. I stay very busy with my normal job and also with our farm and of course vlogging too. We have 6 kids. It's always crazy around our home. But when we learn to take it day by day and not take for granted all the blessings that we had, just to wake up, just to be thankful for the morning, that we're able to hear the birds, to see our farm, and to, you know what, just to eat breakfast, to have food. Having thankfulness and not taking that for granted, that would be my number 1. No matter if you're a morning person or not, learn to be nicer. Learn to smile. So number 1 was thankful. Number 2 is kindness. Our world has lost kindness. As a man, there's nothing wrong with holding the door open for someone. I teach my children this too. To have respect for someone that's walking down the road. No matter how old I am, I'm always going to say, you know, yes ma'am, no ma'am. It's the kindness. It's the respect that a lot of people don't get anymore. We've lost that in America. And when we don't take things for granted so we can be thankful, then if we're trying to be kind, I honestly believe you're going to wake up and you're going to have a better day because you're willing to focus on the fact of not yourself. That's one thing I think that being kind is all about. When we're kind, we don't focus on us. We're not so selfish. It allows us to put our focus and energy and our care maybe on someone else. That's not a bad thing. Yes, I can wake up in a tizzy. Yes, you can wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Kind of get past all that. We have enough stress and anxiety in the world. The last thing we need to do is just be mean to everybody. So if we want to change people's life, you have to start by doing good things for them and being kind. So challenge you today, be kind to people that you come in contact with, even the people that you not necessarily like. But it's okay to show a little chivalry, show a little kindness, a little respect. I honestly believe it'd make you feel better no matter what, because you're giving away something more selflessness versus selfishness. Number 3, I call this morning therapy. Now, this may look different for you, but for me, I enjoy doing some workout. I enjoy doing some cardio. I enjoy that because physically it just makes me feel better after it's all over. Reading a book or reading your Bible on this beautiful morning and having a good cup of coffee. It's devoting that morning time routine to yourself to be able to be ready for what goes on. It may be sitting in a sauna. It may be sitting in a pool. It may be jumping in your pond. It may be gardening. But devote time just for yourself that morning. I honestly believe when we prepare ourselves better to face what we're going to face for the day, it will help us. So now we're thankful. We're learning to be kind to people that we come in contact with. And then we set the mindset for the day because we're trying to do something just for ourselves, just for a second. It's not selfishness. It's almost like therapy. Let's get ourselves ready for today, no matter what we face. For me, I have a same morning routine every morning on farm. I'm working on the farm, milking. I'm listening to a podcast, go feed all the animals, do a little workout routine, get a cup of coffee, sit and enjoy just for a second before I have to go to work. That is a morning routine that gives me a peace. I enjoy it. And when we do that, then it allows us to be ready to face what we will face for the day, positive or negative. I think when we prepare ourselves, either through mind, body, or soul, by reading the Bible, reading a book, or setting up this morning routine, I think we'll be more prepared for what we face for the day. Again, this is going back to being selfless. Don't compare and don't be negative. We tend to always want to envy and covet and kind of look at other people's stuff and say, man, I'd love to have that. They have it all together. No, they don't. They really don't. Don't compare. Don't worry about what they have. You focus on you. You do what you can do to be kind to them, but also focus on how you can make better situations in your life. If you're trying to save money, get on a budget. If you're trying to eat better, quit eating fast food. If you're trying to motivate yourself to do better by comparing or being negative, that's not actually the right way to look at it. That's not going to help you any. So learn to not compare and not be negative. Don't look at other people's things and say they have it all together, because they really don't. I call that the social media experience. Everybody in the pictures of social media, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media you're on, they make everything look perfect. Well, it's not. It's the same way you have. It's crazy, stress, anxiety. We live in the same world with the same people in the same country, and it's life. So we have to realize that we don't need to compare ourselves and have that negative Nancy look at everybody else. We need to learn to focus on what our plan is for the day, our objective is for the day. If you're worried about saving, you're worried about losing weight, you're learning about making more money, keep those motivations going. And when we learn to not compare, then we'll learn to strive to do better. And when we learn to strive to do better, we won't worry about what everybody else thinks. We won't worry about what everybody else has or does, because it won't matter. Our focus won't be on them. It'll be on us and trying to be a better you. Number 5 would be a servant leader. Now, this servant leader term almost reminds me of Dave Ramsey. If you haven't read his book, EntreLeadership, I think it's phenomenal, especially for anybody who is trying to do better in the workplace. I think it's a great book. So our goal is to be wise and understand how to be a better encourager, motivator in our homes, in our business, in our work, whatever you're doing, in our farm. So what that is if we can encourage and work alongside someone, I think that will help everyone do better. So they call it servant leadership. Well, that's kind of been a term that I have just kind of used for the last 10 to 15 years in my personal life to say, you know what can I do to be better? Instead of ordering anyone to do anything, I learned to work alongside them, even my son. So Aiden and I both work at the farm pretty heavy. He's not doing homeschooling. He also works with me at my job. I want him to see servant leadership. I want to work alongside him. I want to work alongside other people. I want people to know that I'm going to be right there beside them doing whatever our job and objective is. Now, I'm not saying you could do everybody's job and everything, but what I'm saying is if we learn to not order people to do things, when we learn to work alongside them and we put ourselves on the same level, it builds a respect. This goes back to being kind to others. Having a servant leadership mentality means no matter what we're in, we learn to not command anything. We learn to earn the respect by doing the things together. When we learn to work together on different aspects of our life, we will actually do better as a whole, as a community. I've done several videos on prepping and learning how to use your community to benefit yourself and others. We can work together by building CSAs. We can work together by growing gardens together and raising food together and ordering feed and doing co-ops. Those are good things. And when we learn to work together and have a servant leadership mentality, meaning no matter you're the boss or the low man on the totem pole, if we all learn to hold the line together, I do believe that we are building a better, stronger family, better, stronger community, better, stronger workforce. It can work in every aspect of your life. Be a servant leader today. Not only does it help me respect others, it helps me toe the line and hold my end of the bargain up. And I think that's a good thing. Number 6, as the sun is coming up, it's getting a little brighter. It kind of reminds me of having a good attitude. We have to learn to not let the stresses and anxiety fit our whole mood for the day. Talk about smiling, talk about being kind, talk about being humble. All this stuff is really good for us. That morning routine. Part of that morning routine also helps us set our mind up for the day. I can wake up and I can be in a bad mood. I can find something about this day that I'm not gonna like and I'm gonna be mad or stressed at, and then take my temper and attitude out on my children and my wife. I can do all that. And I'm not saying that I'm always doing the very best I can, but we have to strive to get away from that mentality to having a bad attitude. Again, if we're waking up thankful and we learn to be selfless and we learn to say, you know what, we're not gonna take today for granted, then that will ultimately roll into this number of number 6, saying, I've got to have a better attitude. If I want to impact people, I want to work beside people, and I want to better me, I want to learn how to budget and save money and do better on our farm and eat better. When we learn to kind of take that motivation to say, you know what, if I have a better attitude, it helps me with all these other things too. See, every one of these work together. They're all very, very close. And it's amazing. These are things that we should all be doing. But because of social media, because of hard days of work, trying to get kids where they're supposed to go, because of, maybe financial issues, maybe work issues you don't like, we tend to just wake up and we're selfish. We have no morning routine. We're not prepared for the day. And all of a sudden we have a bad attitude and bam, your day is almost ruined. So I challenge you, set your mind up doing these other things first, and that will help you have a better attitude for the day. And remember, when we have a better attitude for the day and we say, I'm going to try to be positive, try to be better, then you're going to be a better husband or wife, you're going to be a better father or mother, a better employer. So overall, you're going to be a better person. When we learn to just put our temper and attitude aside, again, it comes back to being selfless. Attitude's a big deal. Don't have a bad attitude today. Number 7 is don't give up. Now, I do a lot of videos on prepping, reality, and some of the negativity of the world. To me, from me personally, that motivates me. I stay stressed, but it helps me say, you know what, I'm going to get up, I'm going to milk our cows, I'm going to do our gardens, I'm going to do as much as I can to prepare. Well, when we say that, it allows us to have that physical don't give up. But we also have to plan to mentally not give up. We have to learn to spiritually not give up. We have to keep striving to do better. We have to keep pressing on. When we motivate ourselves to press on, all these other things that we've talked about will help us not want to give up. Think of the impact you can be if you had a better attitude and you didn't give up at work. You would motivate others and you could make a change. Now, physically making a change is, yes, we want to do better. Mentally making a change, you're trying to strive to do better. Spiritually making a change, you can start a movement because people see the difference in you. So I challenge you, don't give up, no matter how tough it is. This week we had the debt ceiling issue. We see military is building, new places in Syria. We have military all over the world. We have stress of our dollar. There's a lot go on. But I challenge you, every new morning you wake up, you do these things. And number 7 is you don't give up. Realize you can face the day. All it takes is doing these other 6 things. Number 7 becomes easier. You don't give up. You work hard for your family. When I can tuck my kids in at night, and again, I can kiss my wife goodnight, it helps me be so much more thankful for what I did for the day. So if I had a bad day, when I'm able to tuck my kids in, kiss my wife, it doesn't even seem like it was a hard day anymore, because I went through it, got through it, And now I get to start another day. So no matter what you're working on, if you're working on prepping, if you're working on budgeting, if you're working on self-help, or you're having stress with all this money issues going on with inflation, interest, all that stuff, remember, these 7 things will help us be better. And not only help us be better, this is not one of those things I'm trying to be this self-help guru. It's just real life. We live in a stressful situation, a stressful life. I mean, it is some tough reality sometimes. If you watch any of our other videos, it can be kind of scary and fearful. You could worry a lot. I tend to still do it. Even with this list, I still mess up. Duh, I'm a human. But when we learn to put these practices in, these principles in, and these rules that we call the rules of life or the rules for yourself, it will help you be a better husband, wife, father, mother, employee, employer, a better leader, and a motivator for other people. We can change the world, but it's going to take us not giving up, being kind to others, being selfless, smiling for the day, and not taking it for granted. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Our goal is to motivate you and try to get you ready to prep, homestead, and live a sustainable life. Remember, sustainability gives us stewardship. Stewardship gives us satisfaction. Try to live by some of these rules. Just try it for one day. And I really believe you'll impact yourself and impact others, and then you'll want to keep on doing it. I hope you can be encouraged today. It's hard. We live in a tough world. Spiritually and ultimately, live for Christ, but try to be better. Motivate yourself to do these things, and I believe you'll have a better day. When you go to kiss your wife at night or tuck your kids in at night, you'll look back and say, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.